Brandon Jones here. Welcome to GT Live. We have a very unconventional episode of GT Live. We are going to be rocking out on this GT Live with Guitar Hero Live. It is the battle of the lives. You have GT Live, you have Guitar Hero Live. We have James, Katie, and Benjamin from the team behind Guitar Hero Live. We're going to be playing little bits of songs. We're going to talk a little bit more about the game. Elise will be in chat. We're actually be giving away codes for Call of Duty Black Ops 3 multiplayer beta. So we're not going to be throwing questions at the team specifically from the chat. So if you want a code, chat with Miss Chibi Weezy, who's in the chat, and she will let you know how you can get a code for Call of Duty Black Ops 3, the multiplayer beta, which is currently going. But we have the song queued up. We are going to be rocking out right this minute. Let's do it. You ready?
All right, let's do it.
All right. We have singing. We have a little countdown. Hopefully I won't screw this up.
They wanna get mine.
Come on, Jones. Get it
They
together,
wanna
Jones.
get my gold on the ceiling. I ain't blind, just a matter of time for you stealing. So I ain't no god in my eye.
Nope.
I blame Jones for all failure.
So everybody, we're doing a slightly different thing today. We're gonna try to do our interviews mid-song. So while Brandon's still shredding over there,
Rocking the interviews, mate.
you can ask questions while shredding.
Singing. We should talk about singing more
Sure.
than anything. Singing's a huge deal. When did you announce that, James?
We announced that recently at Gamescom, that singing will be a feature. So as you can see, Katie over there rocking the mic, USB mic right into the game. Lyrics appear right above the note highway, and that just creates this fun social experience in Guitar Hero Live.
Nice.
You can also use your phone. Yeah, is that a thing?
So there will be a way to use a phone as a microphone.
Yeah.
More details on that coming later.
Oh, okay.
Right now you'll see Katie playing through the USB mic though.
Great. I have a question. Your title is Director of Product. What does that mean?
Director of product,
Yeah.
jack of all trades, right?
Okay.
So work with the studio closely on the feature set and the marketing of the game.
Yeah.
Work cross-functionally, lots of the teams at Activision, our PR team, all the great guys, the production team, just to make sure people know about and love this game.
So the reason I ask is like one thing we learned before the stream started is that your shirt that you're wearing right now
Oh yeah.
is for a fictional concert series that's in the game, right?
Exactly. So this is Sound Dial.
Yeah.
So as you can see in the game, right, it's this live experience, really becoming a rock star, feeling like you're this person on stage playing out to the crowds. And as you can see, it's built around festivals. So the whole thing has this live festival feel. This is one of the ones, the UK. It's a little bit more rural of a festival. Imagine you're playing at Glastonbury, right? So there's multiple stages, different bands, and that you're the rock star in each one of these. So you go on, maybe some venues are a little bit smaller. Some of the venues, massive, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people.
So in the progression of the game, where does Sound Dial fit?
So there's two main festivals, Sound
Okay.
Dial, the UK one. There's also Rock the Block, which is the US festival, which we also just announced. That one's a little bit more of an urban feel. So imagine something like an Outside Lands or an Austin City Limits, you know, see the bridge and the city vibe in the background. But same idea, right? Different bands, different venues, different ways to see and experience and play music.
Did you make a shirt for Rock the Block?
We have that one coming too.
Okay,
yeah.
great.
Do you
I like this one
start-
though. I like the UK
And
Glastonbury
the
feel.
night with the lightning bolts coming out?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You get muddy, you know, you really feel the music.
Sure.
Do you start in like a garage or a studio in front of like 3 people?
So there is a little bit of progression in the game, but the idea is much like a festival, right? You could go and experience any different venue at any time. So as a band member playing, there will be different ones that you could play right from the start. There is some awesome unlocks, though, that as you progress, there's some more things that you see, some more different venues.
Sweet.
So let's say we picked a new song. We should go full sound on this.
Hold on, we want to queue up right for the good singing part.
Oh, okay.
Not the good singing part. Are you ready? Just really quick before we jump. Here,
Sure.
pause the song real quick. Before we jump in. Just want to talk to you a little about singing. So how did you prepare for singing to demo off Guitar Hero when you're singing?
How did I prepare for this one?
Yeah.
I prepared different songs that I want to film. But that's why we're getting to the good part of the song. No, but I'm a singer, so I sing every day.
Sweet.
And a lot of these songs I hear all the time. So,
Let's
they're
get some
kind of
singing here.
ingrained
Hold on,
in my
hold on.
head.
Get some volume up there.
Oh yeah, here we go.
Are you ready, Ian?
Yeah.
All right.
Rock it. Here we go.
Gotta make
Jump
sure I got
right
the
in,
black versus
jump
the white.
right
Okay.
in.
Got that.
In the dark.
Ben can hit that.
Okay, Kyle. So you get the issue here with that you have with the buttons, right? That there's like 3 on top of 3 now. So like if you thought that you were kind of cozy with Guitar Hero, that's not happening anymore. Like you're going back to square one. This game is going to split your brain in half.
That's what I'm most excited about. To be
Right?
honest.
That's what you want out of a new Guitar Hero game, right? It's just like, oh no. It's like a fighting game. You're like you thought you knew what you were doing, but we're going back to the drawing board.
Well, how are you doing with it personally?
I'm doing okay.
Lies.
Good.
I'm doing all right.
Hey,
this is on
your
easy,
combo,
right?
bro.
I see all the
I actually didn't check difficulty before we
I
came in.
believe
Did
you're
you?
on regular difficulty.
Oh, okay, all right. I'll take regular.
You're killing it.
At the end of the show, he's got to pop it up to advanced.
Yeah, you gotta try
Gotcha.
advanced.
Expert.
I'm pretty
Okay,
sure you
I'll
can
switch
do it.
difficulty for the next one. Thanks.
Oh boy.
I just wanted to address that specifically. That's not the easiest thing in the world.
Excuses. Okay.
So James, I wonder, like, when you were going out there and talking to, fans, obviously people were really excited about Guitar Hero coming back. What did people say they wanted out of another Guitar Hero? Because I'm sure they have fairly impossible requests when it comes to bringing a big franchise like this back.
Sometimes, but I think this game, it's just, we wanted to bring something completely new, and that's what people wanted, right? They didn't want a rehash of the old game, and so what we did is went out there and gave them something completely new. I think you see the one mode here, the Guitar Hero Live, and it really just looks and feels completely different, gives you this stage fright like never before. Still some of the core parts of the game, right? You still have the fun of playing songs. You still have the fun of not being prepared to sing a song and being thrown up in your friend's living room and have that go however it goes for you. And then there's the GHTV, this completely other different mode, and that one's completely something that never could be seen before, partially because there wasn't this new console generation where all of these were connected and you could have a broadcasting service, something that 24 hours a day could deliver new content. So we're really excited. The combination of those two modes is just something that no one's ever seen before.
Yeah, could you quickly explain GHTV to someone who hasn't heard of it before?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it's the world's first 24-hour playable music video network. Now that's a lot of words, but what is that, right?
Yeah.
Imagine MTV back in the day where there's just videos, where it was actually about music videos, right? Not about shows. And there's just video after video that you could experience, different programs with different genres. This is very similar to that. You sign on, you have a connected console, you sign on, and then 24 hours a day, multiple channels broadcasting real musicians, real music videos that you can listen to, get up, play. There's a fun metagame on top of that where you're trying to increase your status, play all these songs. It's a great way to experience music. I found it's a great way to discover music too.
And it's it is the music videos playing in the background too.
Actual
Yeah?
music videos.
See, that I think is very cool.
Yeah.
How long can I keep playing without a song looping?
So there will be hundreds of songs at launch and
Okay.
new songs added all
So
the
a long
time.
time.
So
Yeah.
I've played for multiple hours without coming across the same thing.
Very cool.
Are there songs in that mode that aren't in the campaign, touring mode or?
Many
Right,
more
okay.
songs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so hundreds and hundreds of songs
Okay,
in
wow.
GHTV.
Wow.
That was actually one of my favorite things when I first got to take a look at the game. Typically, with music licensing games, it's like the whole. There's one song maybe you don't know. You're familiar with the band, but I've never heard that one Prince song. Okay. Whereas first time I came to check out Guitar Hero TV, it was every channel. I'm I don't know any of these bands. This is all really new stuff. This is a cool way to get exposure to this music. I'm curious if there's any band or genre of music that you found a new appreciation for after working with the game.
For sure. I've always been a classic rock guy, and there's all sorts of that stuff in there already. So you have the Boston, you have the Queen, you have the Rolling Stones, things that people love and know. You have sort of the more modern rock, the Blink-182s and things. I feel like I've discovered more alternative bands. So there's a bunch in there right now. I don't know if you call them alternative. I love Royal Blood. So I really didn't know them very much until I started playing the game, and their hooks are just great. I love playing it on the guitar. I've even though I hear it so much being a part of this game, making this game, I still go home and listen to it.
I want to get Bloodworth a Royal Blood T-shirt.
Yeah, I've never heard of Royal Blood,
No?
so I would
You
have
gotta
discovered
check
it
him
through-
out.
Yeah, I would have
You gotta
discovered
check
it
him
from
out.
it too, Yeah. Do you have a new song that you're ready to
We
sound
got a
up
new
on?
song. I already rocked out a couple songs here. Kyle, do you want to come up and give these 6 buttons?
I'd love to give the 6 buttons a
These
try.
6
yeah.
buttons are begging you. Thank you so much for the time, guys.
Yeah.
Good luck,
you.
Bossman.
Rocked it.
Do you know the
I
up
wanted
and
to see
down
advanced
configuration?
before you went off.
Yeah, Jones.
Black's on top, white's on the bottom.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep. You
That-
got it.
Is that it? Is that all I need to
Kyle,
know?
advanced.
Pretty
Okay.
much.
You're good, bro.
All right.
Kyle, do advanced.
Do we have volume?
Don't be casual.
Hold on.
There you go.
Have you heard these guys much? Gaslight Anthem?
No.
Let her go.
Yeah.
Let somebody else at her feet.
I've gained a new appreciation for them too. I'd heard of them before the game, but I started to get into this. So this one, 45.
It's all me, I'm so sorry.
As it simply
Oh no.
Is he on the left?
He's Kyle's on the
There we
right.
go.
Yeah.
I used to hear when she sleep in my arms. But that says, hey, hey, turn the record over. Hey, I see you on the flip side. There you go. Turn the key.
It's not easy, is it, Kyle?
I'm glad we got to demonstrate the band getting mad at you.
I mean, but that's actually a good thing to bring up. Is like, you know, the original Guitar Hero series is one of the most challenging game series I've ever played. I mean, it doesn't matter what it is. You know, this was kind of like it almost like freaked me out like Dark Souls does now, where it's just like, I gotta beat this thing, I gotta get back in there. And it seems like people going in with this new button configuration, you know, it just adds more to that, you know, that strategy. Did you have people just like smashing equipment when they're demoing stuff?
Just
like
Pete Townsend and
yeah,
Char
are people
right
just
away.
like getting really aggressive? I mean, have you had anybody come in and just pick it up? They're like, oh, this is a piece of cake, or like, has it just been challenging for everybody to get back
You
in?
know, I think there are a few people who pick it up. You actually picked it up quick, but it does
Oh, I played
for
it before.
sure.
So-
It does for sure take a few minutes to get used to the new button configuration for anybody. It's just very different, right? You're used to moving this way, and now you're kind of moving in 2 dimensions, up and down. For sure, it takes a little time, but as you said, once you get past that level where it's just a little bit frustrating, a couple minutes, it becomes that much more addictive and enjoyable, right?
So for those of you guys that can't see, so the 3 buttons are on top of each other. So you basically take 2 buttons out of your classic, you know, music rhythm guitar controller, and now you're going to have 3 on top of 3. The white is labeled on the bottom and the black are on the top. And so my favorite brainbuster at the moment is both of them at the same time. So in the middle or the left or the right of the board, you'll see the black and white, like you know, like part of an Oreo cookie, basically. It's like you got to hit both of these things, and that means you got to press your finger all the way across, which actually does kind of, you know, like your finger movements actually are slowly simulating like what, you know, like the contortions you would have to do in order to, you know, to play an actual guitar.
Yeah, from a distance, it almost
demo,
looks
Kyle,
like
good
someone is
demo.
playing a real guitar, right?
Right.
Because you see them, especially on the advanced modes, you're creating these chord shapes. I mean, it's one thing to hit the top and bottom at once. On some of the advanced levels, you're almost getting where it's the first row is both at once and the second is top and bottom at the same time, and it takes a pro like Ben to actually rock it out over there.
So yeah, Ben, how are your skills at this game? Do you think are you at a state where you're always learning more about this game, or have you hit peak skills
It's so much
and you're
harder
just
than the last
plateauing?
one. I was playing expert on the last Guitar Hero, and now I'm advanced. Like, I have to take a step back. Expert is going to be like a whole new frontier of mastery to relearn. The metal songs in this game are insanely hard.
Well, it's funny. It's like you know, you'll have a little segment. It's like you'll building up your there's so much terminology before it. Like when your score multiplier. What is
Sure,
that?
sure. Score
When on the
multiplier.
yeah.
Exactly,
So
yeah.
when I'm building up my meter to Unleash's score multiplier, there's like little sections. Like if you play this part perfectly, you'll get a nice little chunk of juice that you can use later. And I noticed one earlier that there was all of the thing I had to play was all white buttons, and the very last one was a black button. And all it was just one button by itself. But there's just something about that lone button that's like, you gotta hit that one too. And like, of course I miss it.
It's a little brain short circuit sometimes, right? No, it's so still fun. I've noticed I'm kind of at the stage where I'm into the advanced. I definitely can't go expert. I wouldn't go head to head with Ben. But what I find is almost sometimes when the notes are coming real quick, like in some of those metal songs, it's almost like I can't even consciously think about it. I get the fingers just moving on its own. It's kind of an out-of-body experience, I guess.
How are you doing as far as skill level is concerned? Is that does your skill at this game come up with your job? I mean, is it something, you know, like do you have to be better at talking about the game than actually playing the game?
I got to be respectable. I'll say this: my guitar playing is certainly better than my singing. That's for sure.
Oh, okay.
But I've gotten to the stage where I'm up there in the company for sure. I would not go head to head with Ben. He's one of the few people who I think just I have to
He looks
pull
confident. Kyle does not look confident, but Ben
I'm
looks
not
confident.
worthy. He gets he
Chad-
gets it going.
Chad is begging for a metal song next.
Yeah.
They are begging for it.
Can I ask you one question from our chat?
Sure.
If you had to convince someone using one word or describing one mode why this Guitar Hero is different than the previous ones, what would you say?
Real.
Real?
It's just the most real experience you could have, feeling like you're on stage and feeling like you're a rock star. I always used to be in the living room. I'd do the leg kick. I'd do the whole thing pretending like I was the guitarist. You know, in this one, it adds that extra level. And then when you screw up, you get booed. So there is a little consequence to it.
Yeah, I can get booed in my living room in other ways. Thank you.
So we do. Do we have a release date for Guitar Hero? So we can talk about when, because we have a limited selection of songs we can go through today. But obviously, this is
Metal.
This is a game. Yeah, obviously, we want to get to metal one of these days. And this is a game that obviously we will be playing again on GT Live. When can we do that?
So that's October 20th
Okay.
in North America.
Okay,
So
cool.
coming up pretty soon now.
So yeah, so the metal will happen again. You know, we have a limited selection. It's just like a tour. You know what I mean? Like you can go to the Rolling Stones concert and you can hope they play a song, but you know, no matter what, they're gonna come and they're gonna be playing. I think we do one more song. We maybe get some of the vocals back in there.
Yeah, we're gonna get some male vocals on this one.
Oh, okay. Is Ben
Ben's
stepping
got
in
good
for?
Oh
stuff.
snap!
Nice.
We're gonna let Ben sing and maybe.
So are there any other
can
singers in the
take it
company? Is there anybody else? Are you
James
just
knows Little
are you just
Monster.
always
You
being
wanna
bugged
go
for
try it?
singing?
Little Monster?
I can't.
You can. I heard it.
Should we replay Little Monster or should we do Pierce the Veil? That's the question.
That's a little metally.
Should we do Pierce the Veil?
Yeah,
Alright.
if you want to
Sounds
see.
a little metal, yeah.
Yeah,
Call it the Veil.
We're getting a little metal,
By who?
guys, just for you.
By Pierce
Little
the Veil.
alt.
Hopefully this will be
Alt
metal
metal,
enough.
I'd call it.
Hopefully this metal will
Am
satiate
I
you for
holding
2
it
months.
For you, or do you
Um,
want to just sing?
let's see. Why don't I'll try playing and singing at the same time.
Whoa.
Just let's just see
Whoa.
what happens.
And you're just gonna hold the mic up?
Now he's just showing off.
This one's a little tricky.
Can I change my difficulty?
Yeah.
Cool.
Just hit pause. It's next to the.
Yeah, can you do single player with the
There you go.
mic and
Does
the
anyone-
guitar? Like
I
on a
suppose
stand?
you could, yeah.
Yeah.
Advanced. Here we go.
Can you?
That's the true advantage.
Can you, Hubert?
I can't.
I've always like wanted
Professionals
to do
can.
that, but that's just, I mean, you really got to notice. And that's the thing, you know, obviously we got to move on to just the stages and the stadiums and how all that was produced. But like, you know, I feel bad because you know you guys are really going all out to add, you know, not only something that looks really intriguing, but something that hasn't been done in the music space before. And I'm never gonna watch it because I'm always gonna be like laser focused.
That's why you have the
like
friends
what notes I'm
over.
gonna hit.
You
yeah.
know, let them mess up and you get to see what goes on.
So I was actually watching a behind-the-scenes video that you guys released at Gamescom that we have, and maybe we'll show a little bit up later on. And you guys showed a little bit of the green screen show where you got the stage in. That you can't really tell, you know. So I'm wondering, like, did you like they take that crowd and then just duplicate it, you know, to make that big audience, like?
Exactly. So, well, each one of those venues looks a little different. So every single one was created as if it was a movie stage in this festival. And then there'd be audience members that would go to that song, that set, right? So if it is Pierce the Veil and it's alt metal, you get a little more alt metal looking people, all of them thrown out there, and then they were taped and moved around a bit, and then on the larger stadiums, green screen to fill in the rest. It was quite a process.
So I mean, just really quickly, I have to pause the game. This is fascinating because like the people that are there, they have no idea what's going on, right? I mean,
I'm
like,
surprised there was no leaks. They knew
Right.
there something was up. They thought it was a high concept something, right? I'm not sure they knew it was a game. It was fun to announce, right? Because I'm sure all these people were sitting at home just going, that's what I was doing this whole time.
So yeah, if you're that crazy girl in the front row and like so many concerts, I mean, I imagine you have to like shuffle people up so you don't have, the same people that you see all the time. But I mean, it's just considering how it looks like you guys produced it, in the final product. It's
hundreds of extras.
It looks. It feels
I
like
was
a stadium.
astounded because down to every single detail, it was made to look real. So with someone who might go to those concerts, every single person. Well, actually, they should have beads for this one, right? Let's give that guy a hat, right? Let's have the ball get hit in the background of this one, but not the other one, right? Every single one was picked out, and exactly like you said, when the freestyle games, the developer of the game didn't like the look of something, they would just cut, change it, the fine details as if it was a high production movie.
It looks like it. All right, Kyle, you ready?
I'm ready.
Are you pumped?
I'm ready.
And we're ready for playing and singing.
Yeah.
He's gonna shred on advance.
Good luck,
What?
Boston.
Oh man, this is not gonna be pretty. All right,
Boston's on the right side of the screen. Everyone.
one last song for the fans, as metal
There
as
we
it's
go.
gonna get this evening.
The intro is deceptively simple.
Boston on the street. Oh, there.
Oh, I don't even know the part.
Friday night like this. Keep it up, let's raise our hands. I take a look up at the sky and I see
This was like yell singing.
You can just play it.
Wait for it.
What you
So this is that
Yeah.
the top
Oh,
and
yeah.
bottom at the same time.
So take a plane, I don't want this anymore.
Now, Kyle, now you switch back. There you go. There you go. Oh man.
Oh
Come on,
man.
boss man. Get it together.
Let's just do
done. Okay.
Think
Yeah, the double and single at the same time. I love it though because the first time you go through, you don't think you can do it, and you don't do it, and then you go and you just play it again, you get a little more, and then you're like, oh, I got that section now. I can do that section. It just sort of builds on itself.
Whoa.
I
Come on,
bet.
Boston.
It's like a really loud, yeah.
This is really hard to do both at the same time.
Let's play.
There it is. Oh,
Kyle is committed, man.
committed. Professional.
Let's stance.
Absolute madness. There's some hardcore plastic smacking going on over the other side of the room right now. But you really bring up a good point where it's just like it kind of reminds me of like patting your head and like smacking your stomach at the same time. It's just like that it's something as simple as I know where the buttons is. I know where the buttons are. I know what the black is on the top and white is on the bottom, and then just for some reason like the bolt of lightning that's going through my brain to find that information just can't get to where it is. It's like and you talked about being really good at Guitar Hero games before. When I think Guitar Hero 1 was like the peak. In Guitar Hero 2, I got this like the last 3 or 4 songs, and I knew I couldn't 5-star it, so I'm like, okay, fine. But when I did get really good at the old Guitar Hero games, it was almost like my hand just did that. Like I think my brain thought about it, but my hand just did it. So I'm not going to ask questions. I'm just going to move along, and that'll be my skill level.
That's the exact same experience I've had on some of the harder advanced ones. When I played it a few times and got it, it's like it's moving itself, and I sort of get to almost the Will Ferrell moment. Whoa, what just happened?
this is really funny watching the crowd just hate on Boston. It was really good. They were just it was like booing one of the guys in the crowd, and it's just like covering his face.
But see, I'm waiting. See, it'd be really great. Hopefully this is the beginning of a brand new franchise run for Guitar Hero. So much so that we could be here 10 years from now. Maybe with like the PlayStation camera, we can map in like Huber's face. So that it's just Mike
God.
Huber's all in the crowd, all booing Kyle Bossman.
That would be fun.
Kyle, can you talk while you play, Kyle?
Nah, not anymore.
He's killing it.
Are you regretting? Is failure an option in the demo versions of the game that you're showing off to everybody?
It's not. Even in the
Okay.
game itself, the idea, you
Oh,
won't
okay.
get booed off stage and end. You will get booed the entire time, which is
Okay.
its own failure. But the idea is you play through the song. You get up there, you're playing that set, you can't get off.
I mean, that also kind of seems to play into what you guys are doing with GHTV, where it's just kind of this constant, ongoing, music channel that you're at the very base level you're watching. It's like you can put it on. I love the idea of having a party and putting that on because that's the music that we're going to have for this party. And if anybody wants to pick up a controller, and it's always like the bane of any good party game is just getting stuck in the menus, or people think, oh, do I want to bowl or play tennis? I don't know. So I like the idea that the content's just kind of streaming at you, and you can decide whether you want to jump in or not.
Exactly. We just wanted to make it fun to play. So, there's certain players, I think, who will want to play the same songs over and over, get really good, master it. That's great. You can do that. But for everybody else, you can just let it go. Maybe a song comes on you really like, you play it. Maybe there's one you don't like, you change channels. Maybe there's one you never heard of before, and you see it, and you're like, wow, I like this song. This is a new band. I'm going to go check out somewhere else.
That's actually a good point. Is there's been so much focus on. I mean, it's called Guitar Hero Live, and so obviously you guys want to go on and talk about all the multiplayer modes that are in the game. Guitar Hero TV is fascinating. That's not only in the music space, but just to have just to see a lot of these music videos that you probably can't find on YouTube. Red Hot Chili Peppers' Higher Ground. When that was played before, I'm like, it spent 20 years since I saw this. But if I'm not going to be playing this game online, if I don't have lots of friends, if I am used to really having a one-on-one personal experience with the Guitar Hero franchise, that is between me and this score, it's between me and this difficulty, me and this star level. What's that experience like? So what can I look forward to as far as like just a single player experience?
Well, there's a ton of content on disc, right? So that is the Guitar Hero Live portion, this one that you've seen a lot today. And there is a lot there that you can play with, try and master those songs, try and build up, same thing, try and 5-star all of them. For sure, you're going to want to unlock all that content, because what you see on the first menus when you first get the game isn't all that's there. There's some goodies in both Sound Dial and Rock the Block. And then on GHTV, as I said, hundreds of songs. So there's something absolutely for everybody. And whether you want to discover music or just master music, that's up to you. The other great thing about GHTV is continually updated. So we'll talk a little bit more in the coming months about exactly how that comes out, but hundreds of songs at launch, and then more and more and more coming all the time. So there's always a reason to go back, find something to play, and yeah, you can just get into it and just kind of sink your claws in and never let go if you really wanted to. 24 hours a day if you really wanted to.
Someone's going to do that.
Full playthrough Friday.
Someone's going to start a streaming channel, and
I can't wait to see the record, honestly. Yeah, consecutive hours of GHTV played. I bet it's in the days. I gotta believe it is.
So we have some B-roll and trailers and stuff like that you guys had coming out of Gamescom, and you had a bunch of awesome announcements, singing being one of them, I think. And it's really funny. I don't know if I just some email or I saw some tweet go by, but I actually was thinking, Guitar Hero popped in my brain because I knew you guys were coming on the show, and I was like, singing would be really great. That'd be really fun if they added it to the game. And like, I don't know if that's. If I was inspired or if I just saw that piece of information. Is there anything else from Gamescom you guys just announced that you want to let people know?
That is the main one, talking about vocals, just creating this super fun social experience, because that's what it's all about, right? A bunch of friends in a living room rocking out. Vocals, I think, adds just this other layer of fun that you can have. We also talked about and announced the Rock the Block Festival. So really continuing to talk about these two different festivals and this live experience, and there's just so much that a fan of the game can go in and find and see and unlock in Guitar Hero Live.
What's the difference between a UK and a USA festival? Because you mentioned that in one of the trailers you guys released. You were like, well, the UK is more UK-ish, and I'm like, I don't know, actually.
If I had to say one thing, I would say Wellington boots.
Okay.
It just rains more and you have the people in the Wellingtons. Very down to the details. But no, seriously, the UK one, if you've seen Glastonbury, it's muddy people out in a field in the middle of nowhere in UK. And that's sort of the fun of that event. And that's what that event feels like. That's what Sound Dial feels like a little bit. Under those tents like the Pierce the Veil that we just saw. I'd like to think the U.S. is a little bit more refined in the city, in the city atmosphere.
With our rock,
exactly.
We're just as dirty.
We do get just in a different way.
Yeah.
We're all different,
Yeah.
but.
Hopefully Canadian festivals will be coming in an expansion of league.
Yeah, we're at Canadian festivals.
More announcements to come.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
And you were saying there's more stuff you're going to announce on more content you're going to be bringing to GHTV. Do you have just like a rough idea of like, is this going to be like a monthly thing or like a kind of a game plan for how long that's going to be supported?
So, as I said, continually, we're not talking. In a little while, we'll have more announcements about the exact cadence, but I think it would be safe to say that pretty much every time you sign on, go to experience it each week and each month, there's going to be tons more stuff to see and do.
So there's no wrong way to do it, so this is a game, because I have stopped Guitar Hero games because they have beaten me down. I've got it's extremely difficult, and I've hit that wall where it's just like I'm not getting any better at this game. But this a couple weeks go by, a month goes by. Hey, maybe I'll jump in, see if there's any new music videos, see if there's any new content.
Exactly. I think the great thing about having this connected experience too is we get to learn what people like. So over time, we see certain songs, certain bands are super popular. Well, then there's going to be more of that to play. If there's certain ones that aren't as popular, they'll probably fall out of the mix a little bit more. We're always getting to track and react to what people actually want. And so I think as people play, we're just going to learn and have this experience and this service grow and just become more fun over time.
Will you guys do any like polling or anything like that for pick songs?
Nothing announced
No,
right
okay.
now. But
that is a good question. Like, if I am a fan, how do I communicate? Is there a way to do that through the game? Is there forums that are active right now?
Just by playing the game, we'll know, of course. We do have very active web page, very active social presence and things like that. A lot of different ways to experience Guitar Hero and learn about what's coming as well.
There's a question that is kind of on this subject in chat, and it's from Caps Lock Live. Are all the songs in English? Do you guys have a plan for any like international tracks, or do you localize in such a way that you customize for regions with music?
So there are some international bands, but as of right now, all the songs are in English.
Okay.
You can imagine, though, that over time, once we learn what people want, once the game becomes bigger, once more people are picking it up, the world is quite literally our oyster in terms of what we put into this game.
So point-wise, we're actually looking at 3 potential players that are playing Guitar Hero Live at the same time. How does that work as far as progression? Because if I'm playing the single player on doing GHTV, I want to earn currency. I want to get further in the game and unlock more songs. What is my second player helping me get more points? Is the singer helping me get more points? Like, how are they? What kind of credit am I getting for my second guitar player and my singer?
So what you're watching right now is in quick play. So that's where the multiplayer experience will sit in Guitar Hero Live.
Okay.
And that can actually either be a cooperative experience or a competitive experience, competing for the highest score there.
When it's competitive, can the singer jump in on that? Is the singer also competing?
Singer can jump in, yes.
And it's just a point thing?
Just points.
How was singing difficult? Was there kind of a trick to that? Did you have to build that system from the ground up? Were you able to grab that from other old Guitar Hero games, or was it just a brand new system?
The Freestyle guys, the developers at Freestyle, they're just incredibly talented at all sorts of music games. They did the DJ Hero franchise, critically acclaimed, and I think they know how to do instruments and know how to do vocals, and so those guys are talented and they figured it out.
It seems like a no-brainer. I just wonder, do you know how the idea? I know you're not with, specifically with the guys from Freestyle. Do you know how the idea came about? Where it's we're doing singing, we're making it happen.
Oh, that one I think is that we want this game, and Freestyle wants this game to be the most accessible and most social experience that it can be. And when I think of the next level, right, have a bunch of buddies back, potentially after a bar or however you choose to play, you go in, you play the guitar, and then what's the next fun thing to do? Well, people are probably kind of ad-libbing singing anyway. Well, this just adds it into the game and adds that other dimension.
We were talking about dressing the audience and stuff. Style-wise, these band members, so these are obviously musicians.
Musicians.
Were they allowed to have their own style, or did you kind of you're gonna wear this hat, you're gonna make your hair like this?
I think they came in slightly with their own look, but no, the guys at Freestyle, every single band member was sort of put together to embody someone that would play the types of songs that they're playing. So there's you've got the Lumineers, and it's a little bit more folk rocky. Well, those guys, every one of their outfits, every one of their haircuts, the jewelry they wear, everything embodies a band that would play that song. You go to some of the more metal or hardcore stuff and you get, all the piercings, the tats, and we chose the artists, the musicians to be able to play that and give off that look.
So were they actually rocking out when you shot this stuff?
Oh yeah, all these guys are real musicians because we wanted to make it look like they're really playing, because essentially they are.
So the sweat is real.
The sweat
on that guy's brow. He's not faking that.
The tagline for the game.
The sweat is real. Anything to specifically talk about? Oh. What? What, Ian? What?
There's no such thing as subtlety with you. It's over. They gotta go.
What's up?
It's done.
We're done?
Badass trailer.
But Kyle's having so much fun. Kyle, you enjoying yourself?
I'm just starting to grasp it.
Okay, right at the moment where Kyle's feeling it and he's coming back, we're gonna take a break. Thank you guys so much for coming in and demoing off Guitar Hero Live. I want more time with this. I want to get good at it. That's the problem. You said I'm good picking it up, but like that's because I actually have played the game before.
You need more.
But I need more time. Hero, what are you feeling? You feeling the game?
It's really intense when you're doing bad and everyone's like staring you down.
Right.
booing you. I'm like nervous now.
You're like, yeah. If you're not exactly sure, you're like, how am I doing? Your eyes can just kind of wander away from the board, and there's like a fan, staring you right in the eyes, giving you the daggers.
Or the band members too when you're doing bad.
Gotta do.
Just like staring, like get it
Because
together.
that's how you know you're doing bad. There's no like you're doing bad sign in the corner or something. It's literally.
Oh, you
like,
know, yeah, you see it and you hear it.
You hear the boost.
It's encouragement, though, right? Encouragement to improve.
Well, thank you, Ben, for coming out and rocking out. Thank you for singing very much. Appreciate it. And thank you for chatting about Guitar Hero Live. We're going to watch a badass trailer. It's up for debate whether it's a badass trailer. It originally was a kind of badass trailer. Once upon a time, when a game called Gears of War launched, they released a Mad World trailer for it. And then they revised the Mad World trailer. And I'll leave it up to you to decide whether it's badass or not. See you in a bit.
Worn out faces hide my head. I wanna drown my sorrow. No tomorrow, no tomorrow. And I find it kind of funny, I find it kind of sad. The dreams in which I'm dying are the best I've ever had. I find it hard to tell you, I find it hard to take. When people run in circles, it's a very, very mad world. Mad world.
Get the Xbox One bundle, now $349.
Pick up that bundle.
I'm picking that bundle up.
No.
Yep.
Because you want to get
Bundle hype. Just saw the trailer. 350 Gears of War bundle.
We got to do
Picking it up.
bundle talk right now because they improved the controller. The bumper buttons are better. They improved the controller.
So that one has the old one.
That one comes with the 1 terabyte. I don't know if that bundle comes with a 1 terabyte. That's what I want. I'm holding out for that new controller bundle.
Terabyte is too much.
Too much.
Too much. You gotta manage your games, man. You gotta delete your game when you're done.
No.
You
Let it ride.
No, you finish a
Let it
game,
ride.
you put it on the shelf, you delete it from your hard
I don't
drive.
have PT anymore. I didn't have the room.
PT is
and
the
I missed the
exception.
cutoff, and now I don't have it.
You know what? I get a notification that it can't install PT every time I start up the
me
PS4.
Too. And I don't disable it because
do you really?
I get it too, and I don't disable it because I want the reminder.
I don't know how to
of my
disable it.
shame.
I don't even know how to turn
Don't
that off.
disable
I looked it up. I don't
Okay.
remember how you do it, but
It tells me every
there's
single
a
time.
way. There's a way.
Yeah, I actually had to dump a bunch of stuff on my PS4 the other night to bring in something else. And I was like scared.
You know what? This is like The View. This is really good. What
Yeah.
That was really good.
Coming back from a commercial break,
Yeah.
you're mid personal conversation.
That was so good. That was live stream magic.
Well, we're all going downhill from here.
Sure, yeah.
How is chat, Ben? We're doing chat a little differently in the show. I just want to make sure we're not leaving them in the dust.
They got upset at one point because they thought I was ignoring them. So then I asked a question to appease them, and I told them to can it. I was like, "Can it, you psychos? Leave me alone."
Whoa, hey.
But they loved it. They loved it that I called them psychos.
Oh, okay, all right.
They ate it up. But no, yeah. Now they're talking about PT amongst themselves. And some people, BLK Soldier, Black Soldier, says he was playing PT a few days ago. And a friend of mine said that some coworkers ran out of their office and he was like, "What happened?" And they were like, "We were just playing PT." So that game is still alive. It's still going
alive.
strong.
Yeah.
And
that game will come back in some capacity.
Well, somebody just made it on Unity or something, didn't they?
Oh, Allison's
Oh,
Road
yeah.
looks really
Allison's
cool.
Road.
That was
really
bad.
good.
I was trying to remember, this morning, what that game was.
But you know what that
Yeah.
game doesn't have?
What?
Hideo Kojima or Guillermo del Toro.
Who else?
Doesn't matter. Doesn't have them.
Doesn't have Norman Reedus either. is
Doesn't
the
have
thing.
Norman Reedus.
Needs that Norman
Yeah.
Reedus.
Huber has creator-itis.
He does.
If they brought Silent Hills back, I'd be like, no, don't care. Like they're God, there's another game.
Resident Evil 2?
Resident Evil 2 remake. Yeah, no, sorry, no. It's got to be auteurship or bust.
Yeah. Creator
I'm a little extreme about it. I'll admit.
We could talk about anything we want for the rest of this GT Live.
What's chat talking about?
Yeah, what's
Chat's talking about PT.
I have specific things I want to talk about. Well, we can make fun of that trailer for a little bit if we want to. But
No, we should.
It doesn't seem like chat was really into the
If we're not gonna
trailer,
do a trailer score for it, we should absolutely talk
Sold
about
me
it.
on the bundle.
I wanted to do I don't know if we're gonna have trailer scores for like a couple weeks. We are getting into review season big time.
Yeah.
There's lots of big projects coming up. Ian and I are going to be attending PAX this year. Yay, Ian, PAX! Yay!
Do we actually have plane tickets?
Yes.
Okay.
Isn't
Yes.
Elise going too?
No, it was just
TBD.
Oh, okay. TBD.
I mean, I might
just
go
Ian and
personally.
myself.
Willem's TBD.
I might go personally.
she might just pop up. Ian and I might be shooting a video or something, and just like, oh wait, like she'll
Yeah.
just be by in the background,
I like to hide behind
like
pillars.
a puff of smoke.
Shades
gone.
down. She'll tap the shades down.
So I really wanted to jump
What's
all
your
over this
beef?
trailer and do a trailer score.
Yeah, what's your beef with that trailer?
Well, they say they like remastered it. They're
Yeah.
like, oh, we remastered the trailer. You recut it. You took cutscenes from the new version of Gears and you cut them to this song.
The trailer is called a remaster?
I don't know if the
we've
trailer's
remastered-
called it, but like Xbox will tweet out and say like, hey, here's the remastered Mad World trailer.
Oh, no.
Which, you know what? I would have just been happy if they had done the new trailer in engine. Like, done the same exact trailer, the old Mad World trailer that we know, which I believe was computer animated, actually. I think it was
CG.
done.
Yeah,
I
we
think
got
it was
some
done.
CG
Yeah, I
there.
think it was CG, but like do it in game.
Yeah.
To show that like we don't need to do it CG, we can do it.
That's a good idea.
But they just did a cut. Like,
Is it shot for shot?
no, it's not. It's,
No.
it's just a random montage of just new scenes
Really?
from the thing.
Yeah, if you remember, shot for shot.
Some guy cut this in 2 hours and 15 minutes.
No, that's
Done.
not fair. That's not fair.
Done.
It took longer than that.
It didn't, man. Okay, if you watched GT Live last week, you guys saw last week we did the top 10 sewers, which we're going to do number 11. We're going to talk about this week's countdown in just a second. But last week we did top 10 sewers, and I did a little montage to announce that we were doing top 10 sewers. The montage that I did for top 10 sewers, I could have cut that trailer in the same amount of time.
No, you couldn't.
Ian Hink could have.
Because how many
How long-
cutscenes are
how long,
actually in
Ian Hink?
Gears? How long are the
I mean,
cutscenes? Like an hour and 20?
It depends on how they delivered you the footage. If you have to sift through the whole game to find the shots, yeah, it would take a couple of days. If they said, hey, you've got these 30 shots, yeah, I could have cut that in about 30
But
minutes.
it's not like I watched that trailer and I go, oh, when he says that one part, really showing Baird on the minigun, that was clearly the shot for that one line of Mad
Torn
World.
up people.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Totally. Those just the synergy between those was magnetic. No, it's just done. Just a little edit here. I'll pick the most dramatic moment from the when Rom stabs the guy in the chest while he's hoisting him up in the air, even though that's spoiling it for anybody that hasn't played Gears yet.
Sure.
It's just a weird, just weird. It's weird doing a montage. Like one of the things that actually, even though I made a Trailer Academy and I can rag on that old trailer all I want, there is like a through line through it. That you're following Marcus on this little journey. Even
I
though,
like that trailer, for the record.
And somebody actually pointed out that Marcus comments on having nightmares in the original Gears. That he mentions that in passing. He's like, oh, the nightmares are back, or oh, I'm not having nightmares anymore. He makes some reference towards having weird dreams or having nightmares. And so somebody threw out the argument when I did Trailer Academy that like that's what that TV spot is, that Mad World spot is. What is his weird nightmares?
You wish.
Right?
Yeah.
But even so, it has this like narrative thread. We're like, there's no thread to this. This is a montage. It's just a montage. They didn't even have to do sound design. You just take your shot, drop it in, done.
Guess what, Jones?
Cutting to music is the best.
Mission accomplished. I'm buying that bundle.
Well,
Damn it, Huber, no!
They got me.
Come for the trailer. Stay for the pre-order bonus.
So easily seduced.
No, it's time. It's time though. Halo is coming out. They got.
Meaning you do not have an Xbox One yet.
Correct.
So you're gonna bundle yourself in.
This is the bundle
With the ultimate.
Yeah.
You're making the ultimate purchase.
Good price. Halo 5. Quantum Break on the horizon.
I think you could do better. I think if you hold out a little longer, you could do better.
Longer, maybe
Just
Black
get the
Friday.
Halo bundle.
Wait for that Black Friday. You're
The
right.
Halo bundle is kind of a sucky one because it comes with Halo Collector's Edition, so it's actually like falsely expensive.
Oh, so it's like
No,
$500.
like the new
Yeah.
The 350 is it's a nice little.
That's a nice little price right
nice
there.
little price there.
Yeah.
What's the other? There's Halo, Gears, and
They got a Madden bundle,
No. What's the other
So
game
you're not
coming
feeling
out?
the Halo bundle?
Forza,
No.
Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider. That's it too. Yeah, Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider's worth.
Yeah.
It's worth a playthrough.
Yes. It's time. It's time to pull the trigger.
Get
It's
the
time.
Tomb Raider one.
To do number 11. I'm sorry, Ian. What?
Nothing.
What? No.
Say it.
No, I said get the Tomb Raider one. Just wear the damn headphones and we wouldn't have this problem.
I thought Elise had headphones on a second, but those are your sunglasses.
Yeah, but I can still hear things through them.
That's
just me, though.
Microsoft made Huber buckle of buckles.
So before we wrap things up, before we just do like a general conversation with chat, I want to make sure we do number 11.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we do number 11 every week to promote the countdown that we're doing. I originally sat down with the team of game trailers, and I wanted to do top 10 villains. Because I wasn't sure if we had done top 10 villains before. And I actually went back, I did a Google search, went to search through the site just to make sure. It takes a long time to go page by page, for all the countdowns that we've done. And it's as much as I want to have this entire list of all the countdowns we've done committed to memory, I do forget. And so I'm like, I could have swore we've done villains, and we haven't. We've never
so
actually
bummed I
done
missed this.
villains.
Top
We've
10 villains.
done. We did top 10 jerks a little while back. Like we've done countdowns that are directed at meanish people or people that do bad things in
We
games.
did dumbest villains, but not like villains.
Did we do specifically dumbest villains?
Yeah.
So we actually, in the process of the countdown meeting, we're split off into 2 possible villain lists.
Yeah.
And we're going to be saving the second one for a month or 2 from now, which Elise, you actually came up with. We give you proper credit for that. So we thought if you're actually approaching the concept of villains, there's 2 ways you can go. There are your misunderstood villains. Like we came up with names. We're like, I don't know, like Big Boss was one. MGS5. We're like,
He's just
that's a fine
misunderstood.
line.
Yeah.
He's not really. He's a villain in some games. He's not a villain in other ones. He's a misunderstood villain. So a month or 2 down the road, we are going to approach that concept, and we are going to do the misunderstood villains. That is not this list. This weekend, we are doing the top 10 straight up villains. And there's no question whatsoever that these people are in it to win it.
Villainous.
These are straight up villains. Mr. Huber was not in attendance
No.
for the countdown meeting.
No.
Mr. Matt Blair was.
Yeah.
And if you guys are familiar with
buckled.
following, Blair
No.
buckled. If you're
Sorry, we'll tell the story of Matt Blair when it comes
So if
time.
you guys are familiar with watching us on Twitch before, you will know that Mr. Mike Huber and Mr. Matt Blair are rather fond of Shenmue.
Yeah.
And as we were going through villains, Lon D came up and was like, "Oh yeah, Lon D. Should we consider Blair? Should we consider Lon D?" And Blair said,
Tossed him under the bus.
Oh, he buckled fast.
Yeah.
Over.
Sounds
So
like
I was
a
like,
buckle.
"What is that noise?" A giant yellow bus came driving through the building, and out of nowhere, a huge polygonal Lon D appeared, and Matt Blair threw him under passing bus.
Yeah.
I am shocked at this. I am appalled.
Well, what makes Londi a straight up villain?
Yeah, because chat says that he's a misunderstood villain.
Lon D, he actually could be a misunderstood villain.
We don't know. At this point, we don't know.
Yeah,
he might be on that list.
I think you need to play Shenmue 3 before we can even really weigh in on this.
And
because we
5
don't
and
want to make a
6.
countdown and then have to retcon the countdown.
I'm just bummed out.
What if he's a secret
so
hero
good.
of Shenmue?
I'm a big fan of gang leaders, especially mysterious organizations, kind of like the Akatsuki.
Sure.
This guy,
I think you should either play the Yakuza or Mafia series. I think you would enjoy those.
I
Hubert.
love both of them very much. Is the leader of the Chiyumin, which has always been hinted at. It's this Chinese mafia gang. No one knows Lon D, and the few people that do are feared. They fear him deeply. And for everyone to be so scared of him, and to make the player want to catch up with him and want to defeat him, I think is a very big thing for a video game. I mean, how many games do you just not care about the villain at all, or the villain is there, and when you face him, it's kind of just all right, time to just beat this guy.
Interchangeable.
Yeah, like I'm scared to finally have that showdown with Lon D. Can I beat this guy? Like I don't know what he's capable of.
Chat's saying Matt Blair is the real villain here.
Yeah,
Poor Matt Blair.
He's misunderstood. Come on.
he buckled.
But yeah, I mean, there were lots of villains. I think one thing that came up with, one theme that came up that really drove some of the more positive picks that we chose were more than one game. Certainly people that have stood the test of time. A villain that you associate with a franchise and not necessarily just one game.
A villain who never hesitates.
Yeah, that helps. Or a villain that has
Yeah.
a clear goal. A villain that's not known for making mistakes.
Lon D has a goal.
what
He
am I
never
doing?
hesitates.
I'm not saying Lon D doesn't.
He made it personal,
I'm just saying
too.
all of these elements that make for a good villain, these other villains that we picked for the top 10, represented that more than Lon D did. I also think it's worth mentioning that neither Dr. Wily nor Dr. Robotnik made the top 10 villains list.
They're hacks.
I think because they're goofy hacks.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the reason why. Yeah, is that they're not. You wouldn't hire them. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you would hire these villains. Like these villains, if you wanted someone to be a villain, like this is a good top 10 list for hireable.
No, I'd say most of them are
capable villains.
unhireable.
Well, you don't
Most of
want to
them
be
you
like
can't have a conversation with. Most of these
Well,
other
this is
villains you
true,
can
yeah.
walk into a room with and you die.
maybe not like a business meeting. Like maybe you wouldn't meet them and actually hand over the briefcase, but like you would want, you know, you would want them to be your bull in a china shop. Like you're just like, I'll just push them out into the fray and watch the fireworks.
We chose some pretty like scary, threatening villains for this list that we developed personal vendettas for. Like it's not just it's not just like Dr. Robotnik where he's like, I don't want to make him evil, but it's like actual like these guys are kind of scary.
I would love to have an uneasy alliance with Londi. If I was a fellow villain, ally with the Chi-Yu Men, ally with Londi, he'd be a good ally.
He has the resources.
He's a professional. He's a businessman.
What if they pull like an MGS2 and like you play as Londi for like a good
I'm
portion
so
of the
ready for
game?
that in Shenmue 3.
And
I'm
you go
ready.
back in time and you replay all these moments.
No,
You're like, I didn't know.
Seriously, I'm ready for that flashback
Londi, I was
with
the bad
Ryo's
guy.
dad, and you play as Ryo's dad or you play as Londi.
And Ryo's dad is just like a total like jerk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm so ready for
And
it.
you're just ready to take him down at that point, just like chopping at his shoulders. He dies.
But there is, I am happy about this list. There were definitely some great villains. I think we arrived at the. Usually it's really the chiseling is what's really hard. Like we get like a massive list of things and it's really tough bringing it down. And I think we got it down to like 10 pretty easily, ranked them pretty easily because we really hate these people. Like these are really horrible.
Straight up
people
villains.
for the most part. Some of them are things.
Yeah.
Some of them are mixtures of things.
RHD,
Some of them is just
Waluigi.
question mark.
Everyone
Chad's
misunderstood
debating
villain.
whether Waluigi is a misunderstood villain because he's just looking for love. He's just a
he's
hero.
barely a villain to be
He's
honest.
a hero.
Yeah.
It took Wing Ataka's 5 attempts to spell Wesker correctly. I think autocorrect was chipping in there.
CDJ Gamer Waluigi is an anti-hero,
True.
not a villain.
Yeah.
Chat asked earlier why you hate docks. Do you hate docks?
I hate
is that a
docks,
thing?
and because when you're at a dock, you know what it's connected to? A sewer. Sewers and docks. Just stop,
There's always
developers.
a dock and then an entrance to a sewer.
It's just
next to it or below it.
It's just unimaginative, and it's video game padding. They're just padding length. They're padding levels.
So
they're
what
padding
is
environment.
So
It's
what is a
lazy.
location in a major city that wouldn't be padding? Like what's a good like a construction site?
like
A
the
carnival.
entirety of Mirror's Edge 2. Like I guarantee there are no like arbitrary sewers or docks in that game.
Are you prepared to guarantee that?
Yeah, I'm prepared right now.
Mirror's Edge, final
Lock it
bets.
We're locking it in.
What
No
about Bloodborne,
sewers
Hubert?
or docks.
When
in
I
Mirror's Edge.
guarantee things like that, it's just I want to believe.
Yeah.
That's where that's
Yeah,
coming
yeah.
from.
What about Bloodborne, Ian?
What about it? What about it, Hubert?
Yeah, the best environments.
Great
Bloodborne
sewers.
has dock sewer area with those half torso guys.
There's sewers all over that game.
Yeah, no
Yeah,
docks.
but that's Bloodborne, all right? It's a pleasure navigating those
Yeah,
sewers.
That's what I'm screaming.
Now that I think about it, chat favorite Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, I think it's like sewer and dock. Or
Great
kinda
docks
like-
in Paper Mario.
the town, right? Isn't the
Yeah.
town on the docks?
Yeah.
I just feel like every single video game has them. I don't know.
The chat also wanted us to talk about our new stage.
It's just
Well, like every
oversaturation.
city has them too, which is why I don't give docks a pass. You know, it's like you kind of the boat's got to stop
Unless you're
somewhere. You know,
landlocked.
you need the boat because there's things on the boat that you need for the city, and then in the process of getting it off the boat and onto a car, you need some kind of thing, some kind of spot where the water ends and the city starts.
You've never seen
You know?
it, but one of my favorite parts of Bad Boys Miami Takedown is the dock.
There's some probably cocaine
It's
deal
the
going
last
down
level. It's
on the
so
docks.
good, dude. Oh, and there's a really good sniping level
At
on the
night.
docks.
Yeah.
There's good in docks.
There's that middle part of the Wolfenstein DLC where it was just dock to dock to dock.
I hated that. I hated it.
Yeah, well,
about
that was all
Watch
sewers and
That was
docks.
so because
Wolfenstein DLC is sewers and
because
docks.
when they announced Wolfenstein DLC, all
Yeah.
they really showed was the castle and the
that
really
village.
cool village.
Yeah.
And 70% of that game was sewer to dock to sewer to dock to sewer. Just,
How dare you?
just copy and paste.
Did
Copy and paste.
I step on you again, Ian?
Right.
Watch Dogs, didn't that have a sewer in it?
Watch Docs.
Watch Dogs.
At this office. Yeah.
Lots of games. Any game that has like shipping containers.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah, it always needs to be a dock with a ton of just
Yeah.
boxes and containers.
you can
Shenmue
tile on
docks,
it.
phenomenal docks. You work at the docks.
Isn't that where you like learn to fight too?
Yeah, you train
Did
there. you
sleeping dogs have a
cargo.
dock?
A ton of that.
Sleeping docks.
They're like smuggling people in. Oh yeah.
I think the first video you will see of the new studio is actually what Hubert just shot.
Yeah, the
Metal Gear Solid recap.
Metal Gear Solid story recap.
But you did a little like sneak and peek with.
There's a little sneak and peek.
Oh yeah.
With your first 15, right?
Yep. That's a sneak and peek. But like the official, like Huber's in the studio. That will
Matt-
probably go up Friday.
Yeah,
I just
it'll-
thought of an idea for a
it'll go
show.
before
What's
Man
that?
Ups.
We somehow get Huber unconscious, tie him up,
Whoa.
get really far away from him,
wants to
you know,
I'm
with
in.
the camera, just drop him in a dock somewhere. I just watch him from a distance, watch him wake up, like, where am I? No!
He's just like kicking seagulls.
You get like upset at docks, you know? It's like I just got back from Tahiti, Huber.
Yeah.
Like I had to go to a dock to take a ferry to another
Just-
dock. Would
just
you
in
just be
video games.
miserable? Would you just be miserable there?
Just in video games. In a video game, I want to be taken to a you know. I did an episode of Huber Hype about environments.
Just
Such
cause,
a big part
yeah.
of video games.
Just
And
Cause
the
3 is a
last
very
place-
tropical environment. Huber's gonna
Yeah.
be docks all over the place.
I hope.
You're gonna get up in a plane and you're just gonna be like,
Damn docks down there. I'm not going there. I'm not going there. I'm not going there.
how is chat doing?
They're doing a ton of like dock puns, like Dr. Mario, Donkey
I got chat up in
Kong,
here. Thank you for being
Dock
patient, chat.
Souls,
Dock Souls.
Robots,
It's like
Dock Hunt,
Boston. Dock Souls.
We're gonna go play Doc Souls.
Dock Band 2.
So we've had big games on GT Live before. We've had people who make big games on GT Live before. It is rare that we will have games that have not come out yet on GT Live. So hence the weird episode. You know, we had Guitar Hero Live coming in. We definitely want to put a huge focus on that game. Wanted to get right to it. So it was an unusual episode. I'm curious going back and watching this episode and seeing how it all played out. But
There were some weird tech things, but it was okay.
Yeah,
I think.
we went dark a couple times.
Lost
I know some
audio
black
halfway
screens in there.
through. It was
Was it a
weird.
learning experience? Ian?
Yeah. Yeah. Just that sometimes the PS4 freaks out and doesn't do audio anymore for no reason.
So is the PS4 not the TriCaster? TriCaster held up?
I mean, I think it was the TriCaster interfacing with the
more
PS4.
than anything, chat held up. I mean, there's no question. The chat's been here.
True.
Chat's been
Chat's
The
here.
always
real
there for
heroes.
us.
We
Always going
appreciate it.
strong.
The real
Always rely on chat.
anti-heroes.
And if you want to track down our friends that came by, James Friscia?
Friscia. Yep.
Friscia was the director of product management at
Good vibes,
Activision.
dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good guy. He's been there the couple times that I demoed Guitar Hero Live, and they're freaking out whenever they demo stuff because it's all live, and so they want to make sure everything works. And so tricky game to show off. Lots of different moving parts to it. Can't wait to review it. And then Katie Byam and Benjamin Perry were our two players. Benjamin, of course, was rocking out. Were you getting better at it, Kyle? Like you were.
If
Did
you
you wish you didn't bump it up to
You
that
were
difficulty
struggling.
level?
chat, check the tape. I did just about as good as he did.
Yeah?
If you look at our scores, yeah.
Was he playing on harder difficulty?
We
or
were playing
same?
it both in advanced
Okay.
at the end, yeah.
Okay.
I think I did pretty
Give
darn
us your
okay.
background though, Kyle.
I used to, that used to be my job.
Yep.
Testing that game?
Yeah, no, yeah.
So that
it
in
was-
Tetris, like, don't count, you're disqualified.
Yeah, actually, I should be unqualified from like talking about how if I think that's good or bad. Because
You're an insider.
DJ Hero was one of the games I even tested on. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Ian, we got to do the show over. Can you call
Yeah.
back? We got to.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, everybody.
We should
Like I could
probably.
be like, I know.
We were
that."
so
Wait, no, but that's a good perspective. What
Yeah.
are your thoughts on the new guitar? Do you think
I
it's
like
a game
it.
changer?
I definitely I miss going up and down.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool to have like the up and down actually like on your fingers going up and down.
Yeah.
But you know your pinky does nothing, and
Yeah.
so your fingers are here the entire
It always
game.
felt really cool switching down to orange or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. So I definitely miss that. But
so
you know,
do you think they could have done the 3 and the 3 and then another 3 and the 3? Would that just be too insane?
it'd be too insane. It's already pretty crazy right
I mean,
now.
they
Okay.
have those baby buttons on the, I guess, Rock Band controllers.
Yeah. And there's no hammer-ons, hammer-offs. There's no
Yeah.
like tapping. So I'm curious how they compensate for that. I think it's going to get nuts on harder difficulties.
Cool.
I think it's just, yeah, I mean, you think about, it's just the combinations of all of those, you know, the 3 black and the 3 white, you know, it's like.
Yeah. Personally, the color coding works better in my brain of seeing the color on screen and matching
Yeah.
it to the
See,
keys.
it's interesting. They actually mentioned when I first demoed the game, the guys that were developing it, they were like, oh, we'll do the 3-button thing, and then, well, we'll have it be like color setup. And then, like, the day they took the colors out and just had it be black and white, the guy's like, that was such a huge difference. It was such a big deal to actually recognize, like, oh, these are on top, these are on bottom. You know, that's black, that's white.
I should make it clear. I just did QA. I was the lowest of the low. I didn't work on any of these games. I used the wrong word there. I didn't work on anything.
If you think about it, the colors actually didn't mean anything. Like, you would associate orange as being that last button just because you got better at it. But, like, it wasn't.
No, orange.
It's not like a weather scale where, like, red's hot and blue is cold. You know, like, they were just colors, you know, and so.
Orange is a rare color. I would say it makes sense to be the pinky.
Of course you would, Kyle. Makes sense if you were the pinky.
And red and green are up top. That totally makes sense.
How are we doing on codes? Did we give out some codes? Are we gonna do that later on?
I mean, I took people's names down. I just have to give them out to them. Some.
So we're gonna be messaging out some codes, guys. Thank you for participating in chat. Thank you for viewing this episode. Really quickly, just want to talk about stuff that's coming up this week on Game Trailers. Tomorrow we're playing some Rocket League.
With you, subscribers.
Yeah, which is going to be interesting. You know, usually we've stuck to games that were very subscriber friendly. That you could it's very easy to set up passcodes and have you guys jump in. We're going to be stepping out of our comfort zone. We're going to give Rocket League a shot.
Also, none of us are good at Rocket League.
No.
There's that.
Yeah.
And well, that's what they want though. I mean, that's what
But they'll be on our team as well.
Like 100 people watching this are just like, yes.
Yeah.
Time to destroy.
Well, you guys have been messing around playing Heroes of the Storm and Hearthstone.
Yeah.
And you know, all the games that you have to review.
StarCraft.
I've been, chiseling my skills. You're playing StarCraft? Is that beta still going?
I permanently play StarCraft, Brandon.
Really?
He's playing it right now.
Still going strong.
And you watch all these shows?
It's because my buddy...
Some singularity inside Huber's house. I'm not sure I was
We had a conversation today about how Huber does everything that he does.
If only you could step into that singularity, Huber, and actually get some work done for Game Trailers, that'd be really great, you know? As opposed to just, like, getting caught up on every television show that's on TV. Great.
So true.
So true. It's harsh. So tomorrow we'll be playing Rocket League. Friday, we'll be playing
Resident Evil Code Veronica X HD.
Part 1 of 2.
Part 1 of 2. There's a huge...
fairly confident that you can get that done in 2 play sessions.
Yeah, it's gonna be a while. It's out of every single Resident Evil game, that is definitely the one that is the most challenging for me. Partly because I've played it the least, and partly because it is a harder one. But yeah, there's a big chunk of playing as Claire, and then you get to play as Chris. So I'm gonna be doing a Claire Redfield section.
Is this the one with like the weird rich brother and sister who are total weirdos?
Yes.
Okay.
The Ashfords.
The Ashfords.
Yeah.
All right.
It'll be a good weird time.
It's a chapter.
Yeah, it's a weird Resident Evil.
I got to admit, I think that's one of the things I enjoyed most about Code Veronica was that it was just weird from top to bottom. It looked weird.
Everything about that game is weird.
The gameplay was weird. You could do like
the dual targeting,
wielding that
cool.
it kind of worked sometimes. I wasn't really sure how to do that. Like the environments are weird. There's lots of strange callbacks to old stuff in the series.
Yeah.
And this is continuing your mission in life to play every single Resident Evil on the Twitch channel.
For the chat, we've done Resident Evil 1 and 2 and 3. So this is Code Veronica, and then after that, it'll be a pleasure. We'll be doing Resident Evil 4.
I will definitely dive in for that.
Yeah, totally.
Solidified Serpent says Huber has one of those time travel watches from Harry Potter.
Yeah, exactly. And as I mentioned before, top 10 straight up villains will be going up on Sunday. We will be doing all sorts of fun Metal Gear Solid 5 coverage. Our review will be going up this weekend. Fingers crossed. There's all sorts of stuff that we got to do in preparation.
No. Our review is going up this weekend, Sunday night, 5 p.m. Pacific time.
Whoa!
Game Trailers review of Metal Gear Solid 5.
Not earlier than that?
That's when the embargo
was.
is.
Yeah, that's when it's going on.
That's
so if we miss that embargo, I'm gonna tweet out, thanks, Kyle.
Like we can't, you know what? We can't miss an embargo.
Thanks,
we gotta compete. Everyone else is getting theirs up at that time. We gotta compete.
We're also working on a video that just as fast as humanly possible. We're going to bring you up to date on all of the story of all of the games in the Metal Gear Solid series. And we got some other fun features that we'll be talking to you more about soon that we're going to be doing for Metal Gear. So it'll be a big Metal Gear party starting this weekend and through next week. PAX is coming up, of course, next week, but I will be back for next week's GT Live so we can talk more about that. Mandatory update this weekend. First 15, Kyle. We have yet to see your first final bossman on the new stage.
Yeah.
We did a first 15 with Mr. Huber. I saw Aragorn in the Massive. What did you guys play?
Aragon.
Yeah. Aragorn. No, it's a different character.
Yeah.
Aragorn is one person. Aragorn
thing.
is a totally different person.
I learned this later. They made that cool brawler of Lord of the Rings.
You are semi-correct. They made Two Towers.
Yeah.
Return of the King is like the
Oh, yeah.
best.
Return of the Kings
okay.
is a really
But
good
Two
one.
Towers is all right.
All right.
Yeah. But I thought that same exact thing. I was like, oh, what? Oh, Two Towers.
No tabletop this week. Unfortunately, Tabletop will hopefully be returning next week, depending on how busy Ben Moore is. And of course, we will be doing GT time tomorrow, which I missed last week. Hopefully, I win the bet. Do we know? Do we know who won bets?
I've yet to look it up.
Okay.
I gotta go to.
Oh man, fingers crossed. So that is our schedule for this week.
Chat,
Go
sorry,
ahead.
chat's asking about Heaven's Ward.
Still chugging. Ben is confirmed.
Still going.
Ben is confirmed level cap. Confirmed. Phantom Pain obviously taking priority. It's very close. It's close.
I mean, the way I see it, as long as the Heaven's Word review comes out before the next Final
Yeah.
Fantasy 14 expansion, it's legit.
Yeah.
Heck, if it comes out before 15,
Exactly.
Great.
we got that going for us.
Yeah.
Please tweet at Ben. Show him your support. Give him your life energy.
No,
Yeah.
make fun of him mercilessly.
Help him with the review.
Destroy him.
Help him. You know what? If you see him in game, help him along. Hold his hand. Take him into those dungeons.
Send him a paragraph or two, you know? Just be like, hey,
Yeah.
here's my thought on this one raid. Just take it or leave
To
it.
his
you know?
defense, to
You
his
want to add that
defense,
into the review? That's great.
to his defense, chat, he had to start from level 1 for that review.
He didn't have to. He chose to.
He did choose to.
He already had a
We
character
chained him
at
to
like
the floor.
30.
We made him
Why did
level
he
up.
choose to do that?
Because he's a psychopath.
Why on earth would he choose
Well,
to do that?
chat says Ben has
He's out of
kind
his
eyes.
damn mind.
There's that.
So he's got that going for him.
Tomorrow, when we're
In the game, did he pick the kind eyes? Is that what he was going through the character
He
select?
wanted
Or
a
did he pick
dragon
the kind,
like
angry
eyes.
kind? Okay, I'll go with the kind
kind
ones.
eyes. When we're doing Gamer Next Door, we're
Correct.
gonna host that stream on our own channel. So like anybody,
wonderful.
yeah, they don't have to like seek it out. It'll be hosted on this channel.
Correct. Yeah, I forgot to write that down on the list. Tomorrow, Kyle and I will be driving all of 5 blocks to go over to hang out with Pamela Horton and Amelia Talon, aka the Gamers Next Door from Playboy. We're going to be playing Quiplash, which I don't know if they've played yet.
I love Quiplash.
You got to be on your
Bosman's
best.
gonna
You got to be on
wreck.
your best behavior.
I
Kyle.
can't though. I get so nasty about Quiplash. I get very mean.
That'll be from 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific time, and of course we'll be back on our channel at 6 p.m. For Rocket League. So you got to come back here really quick, right after 5, and set up for Rocket League. A super weird episode today, but we did it to accommodate Guitar Hero Live. Thank you on behalf of the Guitar Hero Live people and Activision. Thank you guys for coming in and playing the game. Can't wait to get my hands back on that. And thank you guys for watching. Are we all good on chat? We ready to wrap up the show?
Yeah, everybody's just offloading the Ben $sign emojis. They're enjoying that. So.
Got to play Guitar Hero early. Must be nice. Thank you guys for watching. We will see you next GT Live.